Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha with News Tonight. Before we begin the bulletin, Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behavior in order to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash your hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing whenever you step outside. Remember, even though the vaccination drive against coronavirus has begun, it is advisable to not lower your guard and continue taking these simple precautions in our fight against the pandemic, which is not over yet. And now let's move to the headlines of the day. Budget session of Parliament from 29th January, Rajya Sabha to have question hour from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Strengthen whistleblower mechanism, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Urges corporates to ensure adequate safeguards to protect the whistleblowers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi performs groundbreaking ceremony of Ahmedabad and Surat metro rail projects, says country's transport facilities being expanded for future needs. Work underway on over 1,000-kilometer long metro network in 27 cities. COVID-19 vaccination rollout continues across the country. Over 1,48,000 people vaccinated in 25 states and union territories on the third day. 3,81,000 people vaccinated so far. And schools reopen after 10 months in Delhi and Rajasthan. Students of classes 10th and 12th attend school with precautions. Online classes continue for the other students. And let's begin with news related to Parliament. The budget session of Parliament will begin on 29th of January with all COVID-related protocols in place. The question hour will be taken up in the budget session. The Rajya Sabha chairman has directed that for the 253rd session of the Upper House, the question hour will be taken up from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. instead of 12 noon to 1 p.m. in the normal times. Also, notices of questions, both starred and unstarred, may be given either in the serially numbered printed forms or electronically through the e-notices portal. Here's a report. In a sitting, a member can give a maximum of 7 notices of questions for question hour. 15 questions are taken up in all in one sitting. The chairman has also decided that 2 supplementaries may be allowed to the member in whose name a starred question has been listed. 3 more members may be allowed a supplementary each. In case of a starred question that is not put or the member in whose name it is appearing is absent, 3 members may be allowed a supplementary each. The draw of lots or ballot to determine the members whose notices of questions will be taken up for oral answers will be held manually. A separate computerized ballot will be held for unstarred questions. It will indicate the priority for written answers for a list of 160 questions. In order to encourage the digital platform and also to minimize use of paper, from the 252nd session onwards, printed lists of questions to members has been discontinued. The soft copy of question lists will be published on the Rajya Sabha website. The list of starred and unstarred questions will also be available after publishing the list on the website in the members portal. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi had moved a motion in the previous 252nd session stating that starred questions may not be brought for transaction because of COVID-19. The motion was unanimously accepted. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. And COVID-induced new normal in Parliament seating arrangement, which involves MPs of one house being spread over to both houses, will be replicated in the budget session as well. Parliament's budget session will begin on the 29th of January with the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha meeting in separate 5-hour shifts to ensure physical distancing due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu issued directions that the precincts of the Rajya Sabha will also include Lok Sabha chamber, its lobbies and galleries during the 253rd session of Rajya Sabha, in view of the seating of members of Rajya Sabha in Lok Sabha chamber besides the Rajya Sabha chamber and its galleries. Under Rule 2, Clause 1 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Rajya Sabha, the precincts of the Council means and includes the chamber, lobbies, galleries and other places as the Chairman may from time to time specify. Special seating arrangements were made for the 252nd session in compliance with the prescribed 6 feet social distancing norms. Members were seated in a staggered manner in the Rajya Sabha chamber, Rajya Sabha galleries and also the Lok Sabha chamber. The number of seats for each party at the 3 different places was fixed as per their numerical strength for allocation amongst their members by the respective parties. No fixed seat or division number was allotted to individual members. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. The Parliamentary Committee on Education, Women, Youth, Children and Sports has selected subjects for 2020-21 for consideration and detailed examination during its tenure. Here's a report with all the details. The Parliamentary Committee on Education, Women, Youth, Children and Sports will examine subjects pertaining to the Ministry of Education. These include new accreditation standards, skill development and experience-based learning under the National Education Policy 2020, reforms promoting fine arts and performing arts education, reforms in social work education, examination reforms in higher education, reforms in contents and designs of school textbooks, plans for bridging the learning loss caused due to school lockdown in view of COVID pandemic, review of scholarship schemes, hostel facilities and other amenities for SC/ST students, review of National Council for Teacher Education in the context of teachers training and capacity building, skill development and secondary education in Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas. The panel will examine subjects related to the Ministry of Women and Child Development. These include problems and challenges in inter-country and intra-country adoptions, performance evaluation of Anganwadi services. For Department of Sports, the panel will examine subjects like rebooting sports facilities in the post-pandemic era, promotion of rural and tribal sports, Department of Youth Affairs, and issues and challenges before the National Service Scheme. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. Moving on, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman held a pre-budget meeting with the finance ministers of all states and union territories on Monday via video conferencing. The meeting was attended by chief ministers, the deputy chief ministers, finance ministers, ministers and senior officers from states, union territories as well as the union government. The finance minister highlighted the importance of this meeting as a sign of cooperative federalism and indicated the manner in which the union government was strongly supportive of states and union territories' fight against the pandemic. The participants also made several suggestions to the Union Finance Minister regarding the upcoming budget. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has urged all corporates to consciously encourage whistleblowing mechanism and provide adequate safeguards for the protection of whistleblowers. Speaking at the convocation of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, the Vice President stressed on the importance of transparency and accountability in matters of corporate governance to enhance the confidence of all the stakeholders, including the shareholders. The Vice President also stressed on the need to protect public money by making the system foolproof to reduce scope of any irregularity. Also expressing hope that economy would rebound in the coming months, the Vice President urged India Inc. to take the lead in making it robust.
I would like to suggest all corporates to consciously encourage whistleblowing mechanism and provide adequate safeguards for the protection of the whistleblowers. This is also equally important. It should be noted that insolvency and bankruptcy code have opened up a new era in economic reforms. We must have accountability and we must have responsibility and accountability. They must go together. If you ensure it by your guidance, by your hand-holding, by adherence to the rules of the land, you will be able to have a fair, good name and also can do good business.
Parliamentary Research and Training Institute for Democracies of Lok Sabha Secretariat is organizing presentations by eminent social workers for the benefit of members of Parliament. 20 Padma awardees will make online presentations in their respective field of expertise in the next 5 days. The objective of the presentation is to make the members of Parliament aware of the best practices available in various fields across the country, which, if found suitable and adaptable, the same model may be adopted by them for the developmental work of their respective constituencies.
माननीय संसद सदस्य और पद्म अवार्ड आपस में अनुभवों को साझा करेंगे और उनके विचारों को हम सब आत्मसात करेंगे और किस तरीके से सामाजिक जीवन में बदलाव ला सकते हैं, मानवीय जीवन के अंदर बदलाव ला सकते हैं, समाज के विज्ञान, तकनीकी, कृषि के क्षेत्र में व्यापक बदलाव लाकर देश को उत्कृष्ट स्थान पर पहुंचा सकते हैं। इसके लिए ये कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया है।
In another event, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla addressed the Standing Committee meeting of the Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth. He said that the Parliament of the country should avoid raising internal issues related to other countries in their respective parliaments. The Speaker also said that continuous efforts are being made to make the functioning of Parliament paperless.
पेपरलेस संसद बनाने की दिशा के अंदर कदम उठाया और उसके साथ अधिक पारदर्शी, समावेशी और जवाबदेही संसद को बनाने के लिए भी हमारी कार्य की भूमिका के बारे में चर्चा की गई। ये सम्मेलन वर्चुअल था, जिसके कारण हमारे आपस में चर्चा हुई और ये हमने निर्णय किया कि अब आने वाले समय में हमारा जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संसद सम्मेलन है वह फिजिकल होना चाहिए, प्रत्यक्ष रूप से होना चाहिए।
Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of Ahmedabad Metro Rail Project Phase 2 and Surat Metro Rail Project on Monday through video conferencing. The Prime Minister said that the metro network in Ahmedabad and Surat will further strengthen connectivity between the two major business centers of the country. Here's a detailed report. Prime Minister Narendra Modi performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the Ahmedabad Metro Rail Project Phase 2 and the Surat Metro Rail Project via video conferencing on Monday. The metro service is aimed at improving connectivity between the two significant business centers. Praising the fast-paced economic development in the two cities, the Prime Minister called them the powerhouse of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
देश के दो बड़े व्यापारिक केंद्रों अहमदाबाद और सूरत में मेट्रो इन शहरों में कनेक्टिविटी को और मजबूत करने का काम करेगी। सूरत में मेट्रो नेटवर्क तो एक प्रकार से पूरे शहर के महत्वपूर्ण व्यापारिक केंद्रों को आपस में कनेक्ट करेगा।
The Prime Minister said his government is working with an integrated transport approach to implement the metro rail projects.
आज हम शहरों के ट्रांसपोर्टेशन को एक इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम के तौर पर विकसित कर रहे हैं, यानी बस, मेट्रो, रेल सब अपने अपने हिसाब से नहीं दौड़े, बल्कि एक सामूहिक व्यवस्था के तौर पर काम करें, एक दूसरे को पूरक बने।
He also said the difference between his government and the previous ones is the pace of expanding the metro rail network across the country. The Prime Minister asserted that India is taking bold decisions and implementing them with speed.
आज भारत सिर्फ बड़ा ही नहीं कर रहा है, आज भारत बेहतर भी कर रहा है। आज दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी प्रतिमा भारत में है। आज दुनिया के सबसे बड़ा अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग प्रोग्राम भारत में चल रहा है। आज दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा हेल्थ केयर एश्योरेंस प्रोग्राम भी भारत में चल रहा है। 6 लाख गांवों को तेज इंटरनेट से जोड़ने का विराट काम भी भारत में ही हो रहा है। और परसों ही कोरोना संक्रमण के विरुद्ध दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा टीकाकरण अभियान भी भारत में ही शुरू हुआ है।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah, the Governor of Gujarat Acharya Devvrat and Chief Minister Vijay Rupani were also present on the occasion. Speaking at the event, Amit Shah said the metro projects in Ahmedabad and Surat will improve the environment-friendly, quality and cost-effective public transport system. The metro will provide an environment-friendly, mass rapid transit system to Ahmedabad and Surat. The Ahmedabad Metro Rail Project Phase 2 is 28 kilometers long with 2 corridors. The cost of Phase 2 of Ahmedabad Metro Project is estimated to be 5,384 crore rupees. The Phase 1 of Surat Metro Rail Project, with a length of 40.35 kilometers, has 2 corridors. The estimated completion cost of Surat Metro Rail Project is 12,020 crore rupees. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank addressed students of Kendriya Vidyalayas on Monday. While interacting with the teachers and students via video conferencing, the minister made it clear that the national level entrance examinations, including JEE 2021 and NEET 2021, will be based on the reduced syllabus for CBSE Class 12 board examinations. He also announced that the government will reopen the Kendriya Vidyalayas in a phased manner for students of one class at a time.
मुझे भरोसा है कि हम इस जो संकट का समय जो अभी गया नहीं है, कम हो रहा है, तेजी से कम होगा। इस संकट के समय में निश्चित हम रास्ता निकालेंगे और हम अपनी पढ़ाई भी पूरा करेंगे। अपनी गतिविधियों का थोड़ा सा वो बदल जाता है। जिस फोन को हम केवल अपने मित्र से बात करने के लिए प्रयोग करते थे, अब वो पढ़ाई के लिए प्रयोग आ रहा है। कितना बदलाव हो गया।
Meanwhile, schools in Delhi and Rajasthan reopened on Monday after a gap of 10 months. The schools in both states reopened for classes 10th and 12th for practical lessons, counselling and doubt-clearing sessions. Remember, schools had to be closed down. In fact, they were closed down for the last 10 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic. To raise awareness about road safety and reduce road accidents in the country, the government on Monday launched the first ever National Road Safety Month. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Road and Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari inaugurated the month-long event in the national capital. The awareness-raising activities will involve participation by the state governments, PSUs, as well as insurance companies through walkathons, seminars and poster-making competitions. Speaking on the occasion, Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari said, with people's participation, road accidents and deaths can be brought down in the country by 50%. While Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said, road safety includes road awareness, which is important not only for the drivers, but also the riders who need to be made aware about their responsibilities towards causes of accidents in order to prevent them.
टारगेट रोड बनाने के टारगेट एक बार पूरा नहीं हुआ तो चलेगा, पर लोगों की जान बचाने का टारगेट जो है उसके साथ कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं हो सकता। ये वॉर फुटिंग पे होना चाहिए। और मैं आपसे आह्वान करूंगा कि मुझे 2025 भी ठीक नहीं लगता। आप सब लोग अगर जागेंगे और जनता को जगाएंगे और सब स्टेक होल्डर्स अगर काम करेंगे तो बहुत जल्दी हम लाखों लोगों की जान बचाने में सफल होंगे।
मैं कोविड पैंडेमिक के बारे में सोच रहा था कि लगभग 9-10 महीने में, 11 महीने में अधिकतम लोगों की 1.5 लाख से कुछ अधिक जानी गई हैं, लेकिन आज भी रोड एक्सीडेंट के कारण उससे ज्यादा लोगों की जाने जा रही हैं। यह कोई सामान्य चुनौती हमारे लिए नहीं है और यह बड़ी चुनौती है। और मैं पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त हूं, यहां पर हमारे नितिन जी गडकरी जैसे मंत्री का नेतृत्व है, इसमें हमको कामयाबी मिलकर रहेगी, इसमें कहीं संदेह नहीं है। मैं पूरी तरह से मैं आश्वस्त हूं।
The next meeting between the central government and leaders of farmers' unions will be held on Tuesday. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said that the government is holding talks with the farmers' leaders with an open mind and hopes for a positive outcome. Listen in.
हमने लगातार किसान यूनियन के साथ आग्रह किया है कि वे कानून के क्लॉज पर चर्चा करें और जहां किसान को आपत्ति है या किसान को तकलीफ दिखाई देती है वो बताएं, तो सरकार उस पर विचार करने के लिए भी और संशोधन करने के लिए भी तैयार है।
Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora is on a 3-day visit to Assam to review preparedness for the upcoming assembly polls in the state. On Monday, the Chief Election Commissioner chaired a meeting with Chief Electoral Officer Nitin Khade and senior police officers of Assam. On Tuesday, the Election Commission team will hold separate meetings with the Chief Secretary, Home Secretary, the Director General of Police, district election officers, among others. The CEC will also meet leaders of various political parties. He is accompanied by Election Commissioners Sushil Chandra and Rajiv Kumar. Election to the 126-member Assam Assembly is due in March-April. BJP leader Syed Shah Nawaz Hussain and Vikashsheel Insan Party chief Mukesh Sahni on Monday filed their nominations for bypolls to 2 legislative council seats in Bihar. Both leaders have filed their nomination as National Democratic Alliance candidates. They were accompanied by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, Deputy Chief Ministers Tarkishore Prasad and Renu Devi, and also State BJP President Sanjay Jaiswal, among others. Monday was the last date of nomination, and no other opposition candidate has filed nomination. Polling and counting of votes will take place on the 28th of January. Over 381,000 people have been vaccinated for COVID-19 across the country since the beginning of the nationwide vaccination drive on the 16th of January. A total of 7,704 sessions have been held so far. Briefing the media, Additional Health Secretary Dr. Manohar Agnani said that 148,000 beneficiaries were inoculated on Monday across 25 states and union territories.
Today, in all the states, all India figure of beneficiaries who vaccinated is 148,266, with Andhra Pradesh 9,758, Arunachal 1,054, Assam 1,822, Bihar 8,656, Chhattisgarh 4,459.
Dr. Agnani informed that no serious case post-COVID-19 vaccination has been reported so far. However, he added that 580 adverse events following immunization have been reported from different parts of the country, out of which 7 of them had to be hospitalized. He also said 2 deaths have been reported. One of them is a 52-year-old male from UP's Moradabad who died due to cardiopulmonary disease and not related to vaccination, while another death was reported from Karnataka's Bellary. A post-mortem report is being awaited to find the cause of his death.
अब तक 580 एडवर्स इवेंट्स फॉलोइंग इम्यूनाइजेशन रिपोर्ट हुई हैं और इनमें से 7 लोग हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन के लिए भर्ती हुए. दिल्ली had 3, out of those 2 have been discharged and 1 with fainting is under observation at Max Hospital, and in Uttarakhand 1 is stable and under observation at AIIMS Rishikesh.
And India continues to report sustained decline in daily new cases of coronavirus. 13,788 new COVID-19 cases were reported from different parts of the country in the last 24 hours. India's total cases now stand at 1,05 lakh. The total active caseload has further dropped to 2,08,000, comprising only 1.97% of the total positive cases. Also, India's daily new deaths have declined substantially. 145 deaths due to COVID-19 were reported in the past 24 hours. This took the total death tally of India to 1,52,419. Also, with 14,457 recoveries in the last 24 hours, the total recoveries in India have crossed 1.02 crore. The national recovery rate has increased to 96.59%. Over 5,48,000 samples were tested in the last 24 hours. So far, more than 18.7 crore samples have been tested in India. Kerala continues to report the highest daily cases at 5,005, followed by Maharashtra with 3,081, while Karnataka reported 745 new cases of COVID-19. Maharashtra also continues to see the maximum casualties at 50. Kerala reported 21, while West Bengal reported 12 daily deaths due to COVID-19. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval received a delegation of All India Sufi Sajda-Nashin Council comprising of 20 Sajda-Nashins of prominent shrines on Monday. During the meeting, the religious leaders discussed the current threats posed to peace and harmony in the country by radical forces. The delegation also put forward to the National Security Advisor how Dargah is playing an important role in promoting peace and brotherhood. The council also said that the government must take steps for the welfare of the Dargahs. Indians may soon find job offers from Japan in sectors like healthcare, construction, aviation, food services and agriculture. In a major development on the employment front, India on Monday signed a memorandum of cooperation with Japan on specified skilled workers. SSW is a new status of residence created in Japan in April 2019 to accept foreign nationals who have a certain level of expertise and skill. Indian nationals with certain professional and language skills will be eligible to work under the SSW system. There are 14 specified industry fields that offer jobs under this system. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the G7 summit to be held later this year. The proposed summit will be the first in-person G7 summit in almost 2 years and will be held in UK's Cornwall region from 11th to 13th of June. Besides India, Australia and South Korea have also been invited as guest countries to this summit. UK, Germany, Canada, France, Japan, Italy, the US and the European Union form the G7. Leaders at the summit will discuss issues such as the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, technological changes, scientific discoveries and also open trade. Boris Johnson, who was forced to cancel his visit to India for this year's Republic Day event because of the detection of the mutant strain of the virus in the UK, is likely to visit the country ahead of the G7 summit. A legendary Indian classical musician and Padma Vibhushan awardee Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan passed away at the age of 89 in Mumbai. The President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister condoled his demise. President Ramnath Kovind said that the music world had lost a gem and a mentor for the young generation. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu remembered Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan as a musical maestro and said that his death leaves a void in the world of music. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed his deepest condolences. He said that the passing away of Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan Sahab leaves our cultural world poorer. Renowned musician Lata Mangeshkar, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan, music composer A.R. Rahman and several others paid tribute to the late musician. And before we leave, Rajya Sabha TV once again appeals to all its viewers to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behavior in order to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear your face masks, wash your hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing each time you step outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic, which is not over yet. Stay safe. Good night. Thank you very much for your time.